The crowned one.
What's up, guys? How's it going? Glad to have you back here at the Crown One. And I want to bring something to you guys' attention. You probably already saw, I'm sure you already saw the thumbnail. Something that has been on my mind for quite some time. You can see right there in the date, September 16th, when this was reported. And it has to deal with a woman who legitimately sells her soul for some doll collections and some concert tickets. So let's get into it. If you guys are enjoying the content, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell for latest updates and latest uploads for the latest content. Now, jumping into this article, it's a woman in Russia. It's a guy in Russia who actually found somebody who was willing to sell their soul for $1,000. Now, this, from what the report is saying, started out as a gag. He wasn't trying to collect souls for Davy Jones or Grim Reaper or, of course, Lucifer. But he started off as a joke and somebody took him on that joke. Now, this sounds bizarre, but it also is sad. So the person who actually sold her soul for 100,000 rubles, which equate to about $1,100, $1,180 if you will, US dollars, and some concert tickets. Now, she took the $1,000, $1,180, and bought a bunch of Labubu. I can hardly ever pronounce that correctly. It's called Labubu dolls. I don't think that needs an introduction, but there has been a craze about the Labubu dolls where people are going into debt, people are getting into fights, and they're just kind of like this craze of, I just gotta have it. It's almost like a FOMO situation where people just want to get it because, you know, everybody else is getting it. Why shouldn't I? Or I just want it because I see somebody else having it. Kind of like when we were kids and we saw something that we thought was pretty cool that somebody else had and we wanted that same thing. Or, you know, a kid may have wanted what that kid had, like that specific thing. Like, I want their stuff, which is covetous. But so more to the point, this lady goes by the name of Karina, a young lady, 26 years old. She signed with her, and here it says in an article said, in the person who offered the $1,000 goes by the name of Dmitry. He said, anyone willing to sign over their soul using their own blood. He didn't expect a response, but of course, Karina sent him an answer, and she agreed. Now, we jump down here to this article. She signed the piece of paper in her own blood. Pressing her blood, so it caught on like a seal, I guess. Maybe she pricked her finger and smudged all over it, and she handed it over to Dmitry. Now, Dmitry had posted that evidence on the internet. I mean, just to show proof. He said, in his quote, I said, I definitely feel like Davy Jones right now. Okay, so Davy Jones locker. He admitted he had no idea what to do with it and described the stunt as more of a social experiment than anything. And it looks like, you know, God bless that young lady, Karina. It looks like, you know, she could have did better. You know, she could have not sold her soul. You know, could have been like a raffle. Hey, look, if you're willing to submit your information, something like that, to enter into a raffle, of course, you know, you're giving up your own personal information. That would have been a lot more decent than actually selling your own soul and sealing it with blood. If you've ever read the Bible, God says the blood is the life. So she signed with her life, quite literally, with her life. So we hear the terms life-giving blood. So it is unfortunate. This is something that I would hope that nobody reaches, and how can I word this? That nobody comes to that point of depravity, where they feel so worthless. They feel like nothing matters, kind of like this nihilistic point of view, that they feel like nothing matters to the degree that they would sell over the soul, over a bunch of toys and some concert tickets. Now, to the young lady, Karina, man, I doubt she'll get this, but I mean, you're like, man, that's sad. So here, matter of fact, let me go further down, because this is where it starts to take a sad turn. Let me see if I can find it, because I want to read it to you. It says, audibly reported the Russian Orthodox Church condemned the act. Okay, I'm gonna get to that in a second. Okay, so right here, according to the Oddity, let's start right here. According to the Oddity Central, which cited Telegram channel MASH, Karina said she wasn't worried about what became of her soul. Look, as a believer in Christ, that is really concerning, because people aren't really concerned in this life until they enter into the next life. Then it becomes a big issue for them, because they enter into the next life without their soul. Until they've gained the world, but they lost their soul, and they enter into eternity without Christ, and now they're faced with the consequences. So it's a bit unfortunate. She's still alive, from what I understand. So there's still time. People will think that, that's a done deal. Well, I mean, not entirely. She still has time, and I hope that she would reconsider her ways. Now, more to the doll itself. This is creepy. Like, you guys saw my thumbnail. I'm not signing my soul for this. So I'm not selling my soul for anything, and especially for something that looks like this, with this evil behind grin, with all these teeth. It reminds me, if you ever, and I'm gonna reveal my age yet again. If you ever watched this movie called Gremlins, this came out in the 80s. Even then, as a kid, I don't care how fluffy and how cute that bigger little guy is, creepy as all get out. They had a vice. If they were ever exposed to any type of water, they would turn into some red-skinned reptile with sharp teeth just like this. I mean, not exactly looking like this, but the sharp teeth. But in its fuzzy form, here in this article, it looks like the cuddly fuzzy guy. But again, with the water, they start turning into what looks like more like a reptile, red eyes, pointed, long, floppy. They still have the floppy ears, but again, instead of fur, it's exposed skin, like tight skin, like you would see in a snake or something like that. So that's what these things remind me of. And a person selling their soul to something like this is deeply concerning. Jesus, wants a relationship with us, wants a one-on-one walk with us, and to see something like this, a state of depravity that this lady is feeling right now, is actually sad. I feel bad for her. It's people can kind of make fun of her and be quick to condemn, but the reality is she's in a very downward state, and I hope that somebody would reach out to her. If anybody hasn't, I hope she ever comes across this video and sees that her soul's a lot worth more than $1,000 in some concert tickets. Even to the point we see here, the Russian Orthodox Church condemned the act, warning that Karina had sold her soul and chosen evil, and predicting decline, illness, suffering, and even death. Those are possibilities. It could be argued that might be a state of natural causes. It could be something that's a little more elevated than what we understand in this realm. But I do appreciate the Russian Orthodox Church condemning the act and not the person, because that person is still alive. The only one who has the ability to judge as it pertains to sentencing is the Lord. So I do appreciate the fact that Vice would recognize that they're condemning the act, because it is a deplorable act to sell your soul for anything other than selling your soul. Selling your soul, but giving your soul to Christ. Like I said, I hope that things work out for her. And the Dimitri gentleman, maybe it's probably best to restore her, or give her back that contract. Look, man, you guys do what you want, man. I'm just saying, it's just something. This one seems off for somebody to give over their entire existence for something where moth and dust doth corrupt, and that's a direct quote from Jesus. So, hey, look, you guys, stay safe out there, and look, I can, God places value on us, and our souls are not ours to give in the first place. And I'm talking about ownership as it pertains to power and ability. Only the Lord has that power to cast body and soul into eternal punishment. We don't have the power to save ourselves. We don't have the power to condemn ourselves. God has that power alone. He doesn't share it with anybody. And thank God he doesn't. You know what I'm saying? Because, the way things go go around in this world, things that I've seen, I mean, it's not looking too good for us. However, Jesus Christ always reigns, and God is not caught by surprise. I hope you guys really enjoy this article. Again, prayer, definitely to Sister Karina, and also prayer for Dimitri. I really hope he reconsiders his actions. Yes, it was a tongue-in-cheek action on his behalf, but it seems that Karina took this a little more serious than what was anticipated. And the Orthodox Church of Russia, or Russian Orthodox Church, chimed in to explain the consequences of her actions without condemning the person. So, definitely high marks for them for that comment. And that's pretty much it. I mean, this one's probably relatively short, but it is what it is, you guys. Don't sell your soul for Labubu. A creepy. It was like Pazuzu or something like that. It's like an alternate name, like Pazuzu, which is supposed to be a Babylonian demon or something. But that's more, I don't know what the connection is. I was looking this stuff up and I saw, and I typed in specific keywords like Labubu, demonic, something like that. And it came up with like this Babylonian imp deity named Pazuzu. And then it just went south, and I had to kind of back out because it was starting to get a little weird. I was like, okay, well, let me just report the article. So, and I mean, that's what came of it. Don't go too far down the rabbit hole. It's just some crazy stuff on the internet, and I would caution you guys to be careful out there. So, if you guys are enjoying the content, as always, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell for latest updates on the latest uploads for the latest content. This is the Crown One signing off, and I'll talk to you guys later.